OJ Howard, blah, blah, blah. Miles Sanders, blah, blah, blah. We just watched the Thursday night football game. My biggest takeaway from this game, Eagles Bucks, was that even though we've seen this before, even though Jalen Hurts is playing like trash, he still puts up fantasy points, and that's astonishing. That's great for fantasy owners. I mean, this guy was just absolute trash most of the game. And how many fantasy points he ended up with? 24, 22?
27 in some leagues, yeah. 27.
20.
How?
In our
You can't
Empire
even
League,
throw.
27. Well, he didn't make anybody better around him.
No,
I mean, he just was good for his own owners. He wasn't good for anyone else, like Miles Sanders owners or Devontae Smith owners.
He was good for Ertz owners.
Zach Ertz owners. I guess if you picked him up recently.
Yeah. Definitely.
But I'm just saying, he wasn't like outstanding in terms of his passing.
He can't throw. That's why.
Yards passing.
He cannot throw from the pocket. That's a
26 fantasy points. 26 fantasy points. We're fantasy. So, we got to be accurate. We got to do standard PPR.
Sorry, we were talking our Empire League.
26 fantasy points, and he played like crap. So, how many?
Yes, you're right.
How many games? How many games has Jalen Hurts played? This is 9th game.
9th start or game?
9th start and finish, because that week 17 crap doesn't count at the end where the Eagles were doing this weird tank job. That game doesn't count. So I think he played 3 or 4 games last year. This will be his 6th game this year. So
yeah, I think you're right. Let me check these stats here. We got a Pro Football Reference. He's played a total of,
I think it's 10.
Yeah, 10 games.
Yeah, I think it's 10 games. I thought
he started 9. He started 9 games actually, so he's probably came in for a game there too. But in Pro Football Reference says he started 9 games. Maybe as the game tonight starts as his 10th.
Yeah, so we could say 9 because I think that week 17 he started too. So let's say 9 games. So he's
appeared in games on the stat sheet because you remember he came in and did some gadget plays in that first, half of the season last season basically. But yeah, sorry, we fumbled around there for
What was your point that you're trying to bring up? He just doesn't have a lot of experience.
Well, he's still young. I mean, he could improve. So he hasn't been good in real life. I don't think he's been terrible in real life either, but in fantasy he's been excellent. I mean, we've seen him no matter the game script, no matter if he's playing bad in real life, he's gonna put up fantasy points for your team. And we even saw Miles Sanders get some run this game, and Jalen Hurts still putting up fantasy points. Couldn't help, that it couldn't help my Devontae Smith that I started in every single league. But whatever, what are you gonna do? You can't.
Do you think he's the best rushing fantasy quarterback right now, in your opinion?
No, that's Lamar. It's Lamar.
Oh, Lamar. Okay, but after Lamar, you think it's him?
Lamar? Probably yes, and the stats don't necessarily matter because of what I just said. That's why he's able to put up fantasy points, even though but
people don't talk about him like that. I feel like
no, he doesn't. I've talked about it. I said this off season. I was like, I mean, it's embarrassing that this guy is that athletic, and I didn't, he really wasn't on my radar. Like when he takes off, he takes off. He's really fast, and he just racks up yards. He seems to get rushing touchdowns all the time. I don't want to talk about Thursday night football much though, unless you guys have something to add, because we got plenty to talk about on this show. We're going to be talking about who's going to be MVP in football in NFL. We got some buy low targets, and a shout out to our sponsor, Monkey Knife Fight, baby. We're winning. It's a great feeling. Everyone's winning, DMing me, commenting, they're having fun on a Monkey Knife Fight. So any takeaways from Thursday night football before we jump into my top 13?
Antonio Brown just continues to be a target monster, and he catches them and makes plays after the catch. So great pickup if you got him in your leagues late, like Brain was saying. He's value. I
traded CEH for him 2 weeks ago.
Stupid trade, Mike.
People thought I was crazy. And now look who's crazy. Yeah, Fournette, I was going to say, Fournette is a big surprise this season. I have him in one league. He's just solid. Like, he's definitely taken over, the the workhorse role in that offense, and it's not even close. So I think he was a great value pick. I don't know. I forget what round he was taken in, but
7.
He's definitely beat that ADP, crushed it this year.
Through 5 weeks, he's ranked number 15th in running backs in PPR.
He'd catch the ball a lot better. I don't know if I know you guys have noticed that. Like Tom Brady isn't afraid to throw him the ball, and he'll come down with it a lot of the time, and then he
drops one a game.
Tackle.
It probably started out with Ronald Jones being so bad at it.
Very true.
And then Fournette was just like mediocre at it, but then they're like, keep practicing and
keep at it.
He's been a great fit. It's been the perfect fit on this Buccaneers team. And it really goes to show that a guy who's looking like a bust, I've called him a bust several times, comes to a team, and last year at times he has looked like a total bust on the Buccaneers as well.
Oh, yeah.
And then, he gets a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance, basically. And Tom Brady's the quarterback, somehow just ends up working out. And this guy's pretty much an RB1 in fantasy. You
think being in the Jags organization had anything to do with it?
Of course. I mean,
I'm just kidding.
What happened? Yeah, what happened?
Rick just is adding that he got Fournette in the 8th round. So
wow, I don't like Rick. I don't like Rick. I have Devontae Smith in every league, and I'm going against Leonard Fournette in every league. So I hate everybody, especially Rick. I hate Rick. I hate everybody. I don't know why Devontae Smith didn't go off this game, but that's what happens.
What can you do? Yeah, he only had 4 targets, I believe, and just didn't make any plays.
2 catches.
He can't pass him open. He cannot throw him open. That's why. Until he can do that.
The second catch, he did throw it pretty darn good. He threw it, before he got open, like you're saying, and he hit him right on the target. Right on the numbers.
Those are few and far between.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like quarterback.
Well, we got a good show. Should we get to it? Yeah.
Anything else with Thursday Night Football?
No.
All right. I got my top 13 NFL MVP list. For those of you watching live, comment below. We're going to do 2 names. All right. Everyone's going to do 2 names. One, who's going to win 2021 NFL MVP? So give me one MVP candidate you think that's going to actually win or fully deserves the win within the realm of reality for sure. And then I want another name, a dark horse candidate. This one should be within the realm of reality, but you can get creative and go out of the realm of reality if you must. Dark horse. So I'm going to just name off my list, and we'll start with number 13. I'm just going to go really quick, especially for the audio listeners. Number 13, I got Jameis Winston. Look, really anybody could be here, but I think Jameis Winston, he's bringing a different energy to the Saints and is really leading that team. That team, just like Jameis, is going up and down. But yeah, you try making this list. Yeah, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You can literally put any name on there. And,
I just had to throw that up while you were ranting.
Yeah,
that was great.
I understand. It's the one name that stands out on this list.
Just wait till Michael Thomas comes back.
If you have to add and if. Come on, this is come on, guys.
We're optimists.
I'm just saying.
We're professional journalists, analysts here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, as you can tell by
he's
the
coming
background.
back. He's coming back.
Possibly. Number 13, Jameis Winston. Number 12, Patrick Mahomes. Need to get some more W's, buddy. Number 11, Devontae Adams, the best wide receiver right now. Number 10, Derrick Henry. When I look up the word workhorse in a dictionary, I see Derrick Henry's ponytail. I see Josh Norman getting stiff-armed. I see Derrick Henry in the dictionary when I look up workhorse. Number 9, Joe Burrow. Taking that, I mean, it's not the Bengals anymore. It's not a crappy offense. We're not streaming defenses against the Bengals anymore. This is a real offense. And they got Jamar Chase, and Burrow has only played 10 games, I believe. Whoa. We're talking about young players who got injured last year. I think look that up, Drew. We'll double check that. Number 8, Matthew Stafford. Number 7, Aaron Rodgers. Number 6, Dak Prescott. Number 5, Lamar Jackson. And this, I think, is the top 4. Should be top 4 for every list, everyone's list. The order might change.
15, by the way.
Number 4. What? Oh,
Joey B started 15.
15 games. Sorry. 15 games. So it hasn't even started a full season yet. So he's still not that experienced. So these top 4 should be in everyone's top 4 list. I got number 4, Tom Brady, the GOAT. Number 3, Justin Herbert. I mean, this guy's just the Chargers, man. They've lifted the curse. I said they were cursed. They're no longer cursed because they have this guy, Justin Herbert. He's playing amazing. This team is hella fun to watch. The Chargers. It's called because of Herbert.
California, folks.
I remember
the Dolphins passed on him.
I just talked to someone in New York. They use it now too. I checked.
Oh, do they? It's
fact check. Yeah, I mean, come on. We invented.
Well, that's hella
the
cool.
slang. A lot of the slang's invented here, but it gets passed down all the way over there. Justin Herbert. I mean, remember this team like 2-3 years ago? We had like Tyrod Taylor. We had Philip the Statuette Rivers. Like, it was so boring. It was so horrible. Now we got Justin Herbert, Eckler, Mike Williams. I mean, this team's on fire.
Yeah, it's pretty sexy.
Number 2, we got Kyler Murray. Could easily be number 1, especially if you're going off wins. Wins are a big deal, but I'm going number 1, Josh Allen. If I think of an MVP, like the guy the defenses fear the most, the guy who puts the team on his back, and just like I feel like the Bills can win any single game, like all the time. I just feel like that. And it's really no disrespect to Kyler Murray. Like, he could easily be number 1. But when I say MVP, this is the guy I visualize. So, yeah, guys, in the comments, right, who do you think is going to be the MVP and one dark horse as well? And then, I'm going to see what Mike and Drew think as well. What do you guys think?
I'm going to bring this comment up. Yeah, sorry to jump in, Mike, but I'm going to bring this comment up because I think he's got a great point. Lamar. And this is Sean. He said, if Lamar stays passing like he did on Monday, he's running away with the MVP. I saw the projections. He's going to pass for like over 5,000 yards.
He already won, though. I
his
think
current
that
pace
eliminates him from
and over 1,000 yards rushing. I mean, he might get like 1,200 yards rushing and 4,800 yards passing with a ratio of like touchdowns 40-5 or something. I mean, if he can do something like that, I would take Lamar as like, my dark horse, I guess you could say. But he's still in the top 5. How much?
That's not dark horse. Yeah,
right. We're still borderline.
I mean, he's talking about putting the team on your back after your number 1, number 2, and number 3 running backs are out. He's really
best corner.
So you got a point. No dark horse on that, but that's my.
I fact checked that too. I don't think that's the best corner. I did a fact check on that. I thought that was our best corner as well.
Who did you say?
Apparently, it's not.
It's not their best corner, Marlon Humphrey.
Well, apparently, I don't think he's been playing well though. So I don't know. I guess maybe Marcus Peters was their best corner after all.
Oh, I mean Marcus Peters. Wasn't he the one that got hurt?
Yeah, he got hurt.
Okay, yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Who do you think, Mike? Who would you pick for MVP?
I like, me, I have a lot of shares of Justin Herbert in a lot of my leagues, and I just think he's the one that took the biggest leap. And like Hussein said, he lifted the curse of the Chargers, which is no small task, especially when people like Eli Manning gets drafted number 1 and then immediately demands a trade. They've had a lot of bad luck over the years with Ryan Leaf taking second after Peyton Manning, and I think Justin Herbert, he's going to make everyone in Miami wish they never drafted Tua with the 5th pick. Because
every Miami Dolphin fan just unsubscribe right now.
Yeah, that's okay.
They stop listening. They got so triggered right now.
They like to know the truth, I love Miami.
He wants to start Gaskin this week.
They made a mistake.
Yeah,
at least they have
he said to start Gaskin this week, though, right?
And Waddle. I'm a big Waddle fan this week. I'm just throwing that out there. But
just promoting the start sit him list.
Random fact.
Who are you gonna go with dark horse, Mike? Who would you?
My dark horse is King Henry. I know running backs typically don't win MVPs, but I just think if he is gonna win it, it's this year. Like, he's on pace to, I think, have another huge season rushing. He's catching more passes. I know that their offense has been kind of, not as good as last year, even with the addition of Julio, but Henry is a rock, and I think he's just going to blow up for another big season.
Yeah, Henry's my dark horse, by the way. I don't know if did Drew cheat and say Lamar's his MVP and dark horse?
No, I'll give you a dark horse. I'll give you a dark horse.
Okay, so that's his MVP.
My dark horse.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
I kind of bounced around here. I would say if I'm going to go really a dark horse, someone like Matthew Stafford. I mean, that sounds, I think, crazy even saying it right now. But if he can continue putting up the numbers, and if he takes the Rams really deep in terms of the playoffs too, and has a really good record, which I think they're going to, mow over the next 3 teams and be like 7-1 here soon. They could get like a top seed. And I think Matthew Stafford, with, those weapons he's got, he's activating Bobby Woods recently. I don't know. That could be a good one.
I have a weird feeling the Rams are going to make it to the Super Bowl, like, because they're the home team. They would host the Super Bowl. It's never
like the Bucs did last year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. The Bucs did it last year.
What about
so I feel like it could happen this year.
Sorry, I didn't mean to like totally...
Rams Chargers.
Ooh, that'd be wild. Can that happen? Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
They both
AFC
play at home at that game.
Both LA. That would be crazy. Like Battle of LA. That'd be crazy.
I'd turn into a hater for sure.
I think we'd hate.
I'd
watch it though.
I don't know why, but I'll find several reasons to hate on that Super Bowl.
There's gonna be like an earthquake, like when the Giants played the A's that one year. It's just gonna be just craziness.
Oh, that was wild.
Do I read this?
Remember that?
I wanted to. Yeah, I wanted this because you guys are both thinking Derrick Henry. So go ahead, Brain.
If King Henry wants to be in the MVP discussion, he has to break single season rush record. Otherwise, he's not. This is it's a fact. No. The running backs don't win. This is a quarterback.
Yeah.
Award. So he's right.
Never gonna win. Yeah.
Like he can break the record.
Oh, he can? Okay.
It's Derrick Henry. Well, that's why he's on this list.
What is the record? I don't know.
I don't know, but it's Adrian 2000 something.
If anyone can break it, it's Derrick Henry.
Adrian Peterson came close, and Derrick Henry is just he's lighting it up.
And Dickerson holds the record at 2105, so 2,105
18-week season, Mike.
Oh yeah,
very easy to win it. To get that time, I mean, not very easy, but I mean, for Henry,
great record.
It's for Henry, it's very doable. It's very realistic that he can get that. I like this. Here's a dark. I mean, I assume this is dark horse from Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb. Yeah.
He's not.
That's a good one.
No, but he's not been lighting it up this year because Derrick Henry's better than Nick Chubb, so
Kareem Hunt's been taking a lot of action out.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt's looked great too. So it's not that Nick Chubb has sucked this year or anything, but as far as MVP, I mean, we can name better running backs. How many running backs we gonna have?
How come Kamara isn't on this list?
He had like 2 poop games, and that's
true.
Like I said, with running backs, you got to be perfect for like 17 weeks to be on this list.
Ankit had a comment too. It said. Ankit says Allen can win so many more games and improve his chances for MVP.
That's true.
Yeah, right now Kyler has the best record. Put up Couch Newsman Chris. He's coming in with a special report, a special analytics right here. Derrick Henry is on pace for 2,048 rushing yards right now. That's going to be a little short, buddy, but that's within reach of 2,000.
Derrick Henry could flip the script on that.
Yeah, easily.
A couple games he could put up 200 each in each of the. Yeah. I mean, ridiculous.
Gotta stay healthy. Anything's possible.
Wait! We got the news, Ron. We got the news, Ron. We got the news report, Ron. That's for 16 games. For 17 games, that means he's going to get like around 2,300. He's on pace to get around 2,300 roughly. I'm making up numbers.
Rough math. Yeah,
definitely.
I was going to say, is that accounting for the 17th game?
Oh, okay. So this is it. All right, guys.
What about this comment?
Forget about that comment. Give me Chris's comment. No, give me this comment.
Okay.
When they had finished this, Derrick Henry is on pace for 2,176 rush yards in a 17-game season. So 17 used to be 16 games. Now it's 17 games. So we got to correct it.
Matt says Derrick Henry will rush for 200 yards and 2 to 3 touchdowns each time they play the Texans. How many more times does that happen this year?
He's twice.
Yeah, for sure. We had a comment. We had a must-read comment.
It was good. I thought just to bring up. Daniel says Trayvon Diggs ? I know it's a long shot, but he is a ball hawk. He's got this 6 interceptions in like 5 games.
This will never happen, but. Dark horse candidate. Yeah, it's a cool conversation because they have defensive player of the year, and just really no defensive player will win. You know how a defensive player will win it? Remember when I drafted JJ Watt in an IDP league?
Yeah.
The year before he had, I think, 3 or 5 touchdowns or 4, some around the 4. He had around 4 touchdowns, I think, all receiving possibly.
Yeah.
So maybe like at least 3 of them were receiving touchdowns. So if a guy, just imagine Cordell Patterson, but like he plays great on defense. You know what I mean? Like, but then when he comes on offense, he's like Cordell. So like a Deion Sanders, like a JJ Watt,
Charles Woodson,
but like better. You know what I mean? But like better. Like that's the only way. Like they gotta have to be like, dang, this guy, you know, he's the best player on special teams. He's the best player on defense. Yeah. And he's pretty good at offense too. It's like, we have to, and there's just, I mean, that's kind of impossible. That's
how Charles Woodson won the Heisman.
And the stats are 5 games so far, 6 interceptions. I do remember reading a story as well where I guess he was really upset when Nick Saban told him he had to switch from wide receiver to defensive back, and he called his brother Trayvon Diggs, who's basically like, well, get to work. And he got to work.
Yeah,
the rest is history.
Man. Yeah, ball. I mean, this
is another good comment move by the newsman, Mr. Chris. Derrick Henry is also on pace for 47 catches. That's 425 receiving yards as well.
That's not that amazing for a regular running back, but that's pretty amazing
for a 2,000-yard season.
Well, yeah, no, not just, but for Derrick Henry. For Derrick Henry, yeah.
But yeah, just to give you
very impressive for him.
Body of work for his case for the MVP.
So how many scrimmage yards is that? 425.
It would be 2,500. 2,500 over that. I mean, I can do the exact math, but you got 425.
No,
plus what did you say?
2,600.
There you go. It's even more.
2,600 scrimmage because he did the 17 games incorrectly.
You're right.
2,000. He's on pace for 2,600 scrimmagers. All right, let's go on to the what we got ad read here. This will be fast. Look, everybody has been winning on Monkey Knife Fight. Shout out to Dak, aka Marcus. Shout out to Fishing. You guys have been crushing it on Monkey Knife Fight, and these guys have been they've been picking just random picks on here and crushing it. I mean, that's great. You know, I like to be a little bit more concentrated, focused, and precise with my surgical cuts. You know, but hey, they've been crushing it. Which is great. You know, it's all good. We've all been crushing it, and my picks have been crushing it. So Monkey Knife Fight, daily fantasy sports player prop website. Is stupid simple to play. It's easy to win. You're not going up against sharks. Matter of fact, you're not going up against anybody. They just have the lines for you, and you make multiple picks. Select if you want to put in $2 all the way up to 250, and you play. So I don't have any picks this week, but let's take a quick look at last week. Today's been crazy with all the Top Shot. And so this is my 3rd YouTube video I'm doing today. I'm just going berserk. I need to eat. I still need to eat, but I ate a little bit. But I mean, I haven't ate like a complete, meal. I ate some veggie sticks, a cookie. I need to eat some
diversify.
More. So last week we had Saquon Barkley in all our picks, and we still won. And we didn't just win. We obliterated this contest. So we went with. So for my floor one, right? So I was like, this one is gonna hit, but it doesn't have as much upside, and it was dead on. It's crazy how it works like this. I went with Zeke, Barkley, and Pollard in the touchdown dance. All we need is 2 or more touchdowns. So we scored 2 with Zeke, and then we went the same exact lineup except for Pollard. We put in Lamb, and then we did another one instead of Pollard, we put in Cooper. Those hit 3 touchdowns each, and when Saquon Barkley got hurt, I was so sad. It was so bad. I was so pissed, so sad, so furious. I mean, for the guy, and because he's probably my favorite player, like as far as just NFL goes right now, current player. And another thing is that Monkey Knife Fight, they have these crazy promotions seemingly like at least once a month, like once a week sometimes, and they just randomly had this promotion that like if all 3 of these guys scored a touchdown, you get a piece of the $5,000 bonus that they're just putting up just on top of everything. So pretty confident if Saquon Barkley didn't get hurt, he would have scored. We saw Dante. That's the wrong sport. Devin Booker. Dante Booker.
You've done that a couple times. Twice.
Devontae Booker. We saw him score and run with ease. I think he got like 20 fantasy points last week. So I'm pretty sure Barkley would have got in. But it's all good. So stay tuned to my Twitter. Stay tuned to my Instagram stories. And stay tuned to YouTube, the main channel. I will be posting my picks for next week. But I did just want to just say, we've been winning. We've been crushing it on a Monkey Knife Fight. So yeah, if you guys do want to check it out, go ahead and go to the link below in the description, playmkf.com/couch. Go to the link, use promo code couch. You're going to get free $5 play. You're going to get 100% deposit match up to $100. Follow the link, use promo code couch, Monkey Knife Fight. Let's go on to the buy low targets. What do we got here? Buy low, Stefon Diggs, and this is Mike's pick, so I'll just let him talk about what are we gonna do? Why are we gonna trade for this guy, and how can you pull off this trade?
So I don't know if you guys been following how good Stefon Diggs has been doing this season, but let me ask you a question. How many receiving touchdowns do you think he has on the season?
1.
True.
I'm looking it up.
0.
So cheating.
Oh, could be 0.
I would say 2.
No,
I would
cheating.
Say 2.
He said
that's cheating. The correct answer is 1.
It's not 2. Yeah.
It's 1.
I randomly was looking at this probably 6 hours ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So he in PPR formats, he is getting a lot of targets, but he just hasn't been able to get in the end zone in this high-powered offense. And in week 5 against KC, when it should have been a shootout, he had a dud game. Less than 9 points, 2 receptions, no touchdown, 69 yards. So there might be some owners out there in your league that are panicking right now who just aren't seeing the production that Diggs was supposed to get them after they, used a second round pick on him, maybe even a late first. So if you think there's an owner out there who has, a bad record and is trying to mix things up, maybe you offer a Cordero Patterson for him. Maybe you offer, someone in that tier, but try to make a play for him if you need to upgrade your receiving course, because he does have a week 7 bye. So maybe people don't want to wait, that long and, make a trade for him now while you can, because his value is at an all-time low. His brother is a lot more valuable right now. So
I think it'd be tough to send Cordero for him. And honestly, I think it's more of a buy. Like you can possibly buy Diggs at this point versus like a buy low. I think you can get him probably for like still fair market value.
Like what?
But I think you would still have to pay up and maybe swap like.
That's why I say Cordero.
I actually just
downgrade like a 2 and 2 or something. Like downgrade one to upgrade the other and try to match them. I still think guys are pretty high on Diggs. Is my.
I think I just said Patterson for Diggs maybe.
That's
just
what I'm
the
saying.
Other
That's
day.
Possible.
That was the one that just got me pondering. I wasn't like do it, but because I wouldn't trade Patterson for a scrub or any wide receiver, but I'm like, maybe Diggs would be the least.
Diggs is
the lowest wide receiver I could trade for.
Maybe a Robert.
He's still 25th ranked wide receiver right now in PPR formats through 5 weeks.
It's all about trading with the Keelan. That's terrible for him going as a second wide receiver.
Exactly.
Yeah, but if it's still early in the season, unless the guy, like you said, Mike, is super panicking, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. There
probably
are people like
everyone panics.
Everyone
has everyone has a panic button. I'm sure people have been hitting that panic button like week 1.
Hard.
I kind of hit it on Jamar Chase in redraft. Luckily, I did not touch it in Dynasty, so I didn't look that dumb. Which I
remember you saying that.
Fine. Yeah, I know. I was like, hey, you guys are drafting Jamar Chase way too early in redraft. Turns out, he's killing it.
No, I just think it's more of like, hey, an owner would be willing to listen to an offer at this point since he hasn't been playing so well, as opposed to like, hey, I can send over Cordero Patterson and get him. I just don't think those are. Unless it's like a really
you never know, man.
Guy.
I got Antonio Brown for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So if you can do that,
yeah, you can always try. Hey, I pulled off Michael Carter for Chase Edmonds.
It's all about exactly. It's all about who are you dealing with. Like,
I was giving Carter for the record here in a
and every 99% of buy low, sell high could easily be a sell high. So 99% of the time, it's all about the deal. And it's obviously trading with the person. Yeah, it's all about the price. That's all it is. Like, I don't want to drive a Honda Civic. I don't. But someone gives it to me for 42 cents. I'm smashing a Civic. Let's go, baby. Right? Let's go. It's 42 cents. What am I going to do with that? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
this is a comment from Chris, and I know he's commented a few times with some good stuff, but this is good. Trade DJ Moore for Stephon Diggs, maybe.
I love that.
Number 7, I think.
Look at the quarterback. Great. Bring up Sam Darnold's face on the big screen. Look at the quarterback. Just zoom in.
Do you really want me to
Sam Darnold's face? I mean, you can.
Just messing around.
We got to get to the next buy though.
Yeah.
But I mean, just look at the quarterback. I mean,
DJ Moore.
I mean, this is easy. Easy. Go get Diggs.
Great comment. Okay, let's move on to
my second guy. Another wide receiver, T. Higgins on the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, he had a blistering start the first 2 weeks. He had 4 receptions and 6 receptions TD in each of his 2 games. But then week 3, he gets hurt. He misses week 3 and week 4. He's finally back last week in what should have been a shootout with the Packers. He doesn't get in the end zone. So there's some team owners out there who I know don't want to wait and see if Higgins is still hurt. And they just want to get as much value as they can in case his performance dips down another game. He has 2 tough matchups, Detroit, Baltimore in week 6 and 7. And Higgins might be taking a backseat to Jamar Chase, especially, in the headlines. Everyone's talking about Jamar Chase. T. Higgins has kind of fell off the fantasy radar, but he's still a valuable big-time playmaker in the Bengals offense as long as Joe Burrow is healthy and upright. So I think you can get him if you are creative, make a play for T. Higgins and solidify your wide receiver 2 position.
Yeah, he's really boring right now. He's playing oatmeal, so I think you can get him for super cheap, and it's just not a lot of hype right now. But he's good. Like, he's back. Let's assume he's full health now. And I like doing things like that. Trade for the super boring guy. This could be one of those. This could be such a boring guy right now. You trade for him. People don't even notice the trade. Like, you just sneak it under the table. Like, hey, here it is. It's under the table, and be like, wait, that guy. Wait, Mike has Higgins on his team. He just beat. Wait, and he started him?
Dominating.
When did you didn't draft him? Like, people's not even gonna know. Matt just made a trade for Higgins. Let's bring that up. What did he says? I traded Keenan Allen and Chris Carson for Higgins and Woods. I was hurting at wide receiver.
And Thielen's in.
And Thielen.
Damn, I think you won that.
I think that's a haul.
Yeah, I mean,
assuming Chris Carson is injury prone.
Thielen's, I think, hurt too. I'd have to check to be sure.
Thielen's a touchdown machine, but he was hurt the last 2 games. But I think the Higgins side won. I think
Woods actually is one of the big pieces to this.
Woods.
We may not support the current narrative we're pushing, but Woods is definitely a good piece that you got.
That's not on brand.
It's not on brand.
No, it's
definitely not on
I'm just joking. I'm joking.
Thielen is hurt, yes, but when healthy, is a guaranteed touchdown.
Yeah, I was trying to just look up news on Thielen. I know I'm slow on this one.
What's the next? Scroll down. What's the next?
Okay. So the next guy we have on there, Mr. Calvin Ridley.
Okay, Calvin Ridley. This is my guy. He's been getting the targets. Okay, he's been getting. So this was the prop. This is the real problem, right? So he's played 4 games. Okay, that's it. He's on bye this week. Okay, so the real problem was week 1. The Falcons came out. Eagles defense is not great. They were dinking and dunking. They got no yards, no touch. Like, it looked like just a really crappy, scared offense. Not been the case so much. Pitts is coming alive. Cordell Patterson's coming alive. Mike Davis is filling in his role. So this is a brand new team, right? When's the last time we seen a team, without Julio, Matt Ryan? Like, this is a different team. They cut all four of their running backs from last year are gone. Even in the draft, like, they don't have any of the running backs they drafted or had last year.
A lot of them are out.
It's a totally different team. So I think they're coming to their own, and we're seeing Calvin Ridley still get the targets, right? Week 1, 8 targets. Week 2, 10. Week 3, 11. Week 4, 13 targets. Misses week 5 due to personal reasons. Doesn't travel to London. Team still looks. Falcons offense still looking better. Air yards have also gone up. So the air yards were like complete poop the first week, have gone up a little bit. So it's looking really good for Calvin Ridley. This is a big name. This was, can he, quote unquote, can he be wide receiver 1 in fantasy this year? Not that easy to trade for him. I admit that. We like to give functional advice that you can actually follow in real life and pull off. But because he was out last week and because he's on bye, the hypometer is down, kind of like with Higgins. Now, Higgins obviously doesn't have this type of name at all, but for a guy this caliber, the hype meter is way down. You might be able to sneak in. Now, a trade like this is not going to go unnoticed. People are going to notice this type of blockbuster trade, but I think you can sneak in and get him at a discount. Calvin Ridley, ladies and gentlemen.
Can I say one more thing before I go?
Add it on.
Me and Drew had Kyle Pitts on the buy low like 2 weeks ago, and now look what happened. We were right,
Boom.
Drew.
That was a good buy low for us. You can't get Kyle Pitts for low anymore.
He is who he said he was. A unicorn.
And Ridley, you could probably get him for under market value, like Hussein's saying. He was going to shoot up and do some big things this season. You can't really disagree with any of those points.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the price. It's all about the price. If you can get him at a good price, you do.
Yeah, the price is all that it really
Mike has to leave. Mike has to leave. He's probably playing basketball again in real life.
Yeah, he's got this adult league going on, guys. So he shoots out early. Do you want to move on to the next one?
What do we got? I don't even remember. Oh, Gronk.
Mr.
I think it's one
Gronkowski.
we all agreed on. Yeah. OJ Howard, blah blah blah. Right, as we said at the beginning. They're going to OJ Howard a lot, probably too much. I might that was too much, a little too much Howard. I don't know what was up with that. I mean, he did good, but come on, you got some other weapons there. This is Brady's guy.
Yeah, it's his red zone target.
And I'm just thinking he almost played this week. May have played if it was a Sunday game instead of a Thursday game. So I'm thinking that the hype has died down. Look, maybe the owner, Gronk owner, is going to want you to overpay for him. Like every trade, I'm saying 99% of the time, it's all about what you can pay, right? That's it. But I'm thinking if you can get him for super cheap, I think some of you can. I think you definitely do it, especially with all these weird tight ends balling out like Dawson Knox. Ricky Seals-Jones is going to probably ball out this week. Ertz was a great streaming option. Probably forgetting a bunch of other guys that are just, Dalton Schultz. It seems like he could be better than Travis Kelce in freaking fantasy all of a sudden. Came out of nowhere. These are all ballers. Seriously, you could start Ricky Seals-Jones this week. You could start Ertz. You could start all these guys. Dawson Knox, of course. So yeah,
he's been just out of his mind.
Gronk's a good one if you can get him cheap, which is basically the asterisk by every single one of these guys.
Yeah, but the thing, like you said just a minute ago, you mentioned how it's all about what you can offer. I mean, it may sound super basic, but to some, but when you look at someone else's team and you want to get Gronkowski, you got to see what other position need he needs or she. And it might be that they need an extra running back or they need a wide receiver. In any case, that's the position you got to send over for the trade and try to get the guy you need.
Basic trade advice. Another thing I'm going to add to this that I think is a little more advanced than what you're saying, but the same topic is tight ends are overall pretty scarce. Now there's a bunch of new studs coming up, but it's still a scarce position.
Good point.
And if you're like, well, that's contradicting what I just said, but wide receiver is a deep position. So if I'm dealing with some idiot that overvalues wide receivers, I'm trying to get a wide receiver for cheap 100% of the time. I'm not overpaying for any freaking wide receiver. I'm finding them off waivers regularly. It's not that easy, but I'm saying it's, I can do that. You can't do that with the running back, and you can't do that with the quarterback in super flex. So you can't, right? I mean, you could, I think my teammate just spent 80% FAB on Geno Smith. I mean, that's the best, and that's because Russell Wilson finally somehow got injured, right? Freakishly, somehow this guy's going to be missing games and hurt his hand. So you got to know who you're dealing with. So, the fantasy owners that overvalue wide receivers, you can't get a wide receiver from them. But some people, what I'm really saying is what I've seen a lot. Some people undervalue tight ends, and that's where you can swoop in. They don't realize that the tight end is scarce because they're spoiled and have two tight ends, right? They have Dawson Knox on their bench. They got Ricky Seals-Jones on their bench. I know it's a temporary fix, but it's still going to be good. Ricky Seals-Jones was like a 99% of the snaps last week, and they're
he's got good hands. Just to throw it out there, I've watched a couple of those games. He looks like he could be good long term.
Bro, they're playing the Chiefs. Like they just go
but he's got good.
Like that's
I mean good
for
tracking
this week,
and everything.
Like that's my main. Like I don't know. I'm just saying some people don't value tight end as much, and they have Gronk sitting on their bench. Like I have 3 tight ends in one league, and it would actually seem stupid, but I actually need all 3 this week because I got Kyle Pitts. I drafted Higbee late, and I picked up Gronk for free as a free agent. So in the IG Experts League. So I mean, turns out, hey, I need all 3 now because one's hurt, one's on bye, and Higgaboo, goodbye.
Moving on. That was perfect.
Next, what's a buy? Is this a buy?
This
is your guy, and I like this one. We have Javonte Williams stiff arming a would-be defender. Buy low on Javonte. Why should we buy low on Javonte?
Well, I think it's basically because he's slowly but surely coming on and starting to take over that number 1 role, as well as Melvin Gordon is nursing an injury. And Melvin Gordon is losing gas, if you will. I think he's 28 years old now, and he's just not the ball of steam that he used to be coming out of the backfield. So this is the guy. I mean, like a Sonic.
It sounds like a steaming piece of poop. So it's a steaming.
You're right.
That's the thumbnail. A steaming piece of Melvin Gordon poop, and then we get this strong Javonte Williams, workhorse ready to take over, start catching passes, start being the goal line back. Like that's what we're talking about here.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we're getting at. I mean, the injury to Melvin Gordon is definitely going to slow him down and get more reps to this guy, Javonte, who are super high on coming out of the draft as it was. And he's proven he can catch the ball pretty darn well, too. I mean, we knew this out of college, but in the NFL, if you can catch the ball and then you can block, you're going to be in there a lot.
And I'm not pushing this narrative because I have Melvin Gordon, I think in 2 leagues. I have him in the Instagram Experts League, and I hate Melvin Gordon. But when he's sitting at round 11 or something in my Superflex draft, like I'm taking him round 12. Like that's insane. Like you can't find starting running backs, on a semi decent team or a decent team. So this is the news with Melvin Gordon from Roto World. Melvin Gordon hip returned to Broncos practice on Thursday, getting in a limited session. Gordon had previously been missing practice reps with a leg issue, but despite the new ailment, he's following the same routine. He will be out there against the Steelers, still forming a near even committee with rookie Javonte Williams. Gordon's is providing a mid-range flex floor. With that, we don't want your fantasy. We're giving the fantasy advice.
No, the idea is that it's more of a bruise, is what Nick or Fangio is saying, not Nick, but Vic Fangio. So they say it's not going to linger throughout the season, but he's got a lot of miles on those tires, and Javonte doesn't. I think that over time he's going to get the 2/3 to 1/3 timeshare in the backfield.
So I've been pushing it's Javonte's time. It's Javonte's time, and I've been believing in it. And last year on one of my DFS videos, I pushed Jefferson hard, Vikings wide receiver hard, week 3, all of a sudden when he wasn't even starting, and all of a sudden he exploded. I think got over 150 yards, just went nuts. And I'm just even more bullish on Javonte taking over this week against the Raiders. So let's put ourselves in the shoes of Javonte Williams, maybe Melvin Gordon. What can I do for this to fruition, for this to happen, for Javonte to take over? If he starts balling out against the defense I love to pick on, the Raiders.
You just love to pick on the Raiders in general.
How are you going to take this man off the field? How would you take, he looks better than I even thought, right? He can catch, he could be the goal line back. He can be the every down back. He can break tackles. He looks stronger. I mean, he's the perfect fit for this type of offense. I think if you start balling out and you never stop, week 6 against the Raiders, I don't think they're going to be able to take this man out, man. You got to force the coaches to not take they're killing it.
Good
You know
point.
how
Great
like
point.
Nyheim Hines was for a game or two last year. They're like,
Yeah, this
they're
hot
like, bro,
hand.
nobody could even touch this guy. Yeah, and I think everyone knows this. It's pretty obvious. Like let's see if it happens. I think it will this week. You know, it's very tough. It's a very risky prediction. I
Yep.
think it's going to happen this week. I mean, this
I
really
want
doesn't
to give you some
benefit me
stats
much.
though. I want to give you some stats in the last 2 games. So they played Baltimore and then they played the Steelers. They lost both of those games. Javonte only had in the Baltimore game 7 carries, but it was for 48 yards. He caught 3 passes though on top of that. And then he had 8 carries last game against Pittsburgh, and he had 61 yards. Now, those were games where they were playing from behind. In the beginning of the season, he had carries of 14, 13, 12. In those 3 games, they actually won all 3 games. And his yard per carry average was actually less in those first 3 games than it was the last 2 games with less carries. So my point in saying that is like he's starting to see the holes better. He's starting to break more tackles, it seems, and get down the field further, and then catch more passes also. And I've seen him break a lot more tackles this last few games is what I'm saying.
So this one, Rick, is more complicated. Rick saying I feel the same way with Pollard in Dallas. It's a very complicated situation. So I heard Austin Eckler talking about this. You know, Zeke Pollard situation reminded him of the last year that Melvin Gordon was a Charger. You know, so Melvin Gordon would be Zeke and Eckler would be Pollard. And it just is not going to happen, my friend. Zeke is getting paid $90 billion. He's great pass protection. You know, this difference between these two is being blown out of proportion. Like just because Pollard looks amazing and can catch passes doesn't mean they should do this, because doing this are they going to necessarily win games because of this? Because it's not like when you see Zeke, you're like, oh man, they're losing the game because they have Zeke in there. It just really, I just don't see that. I think what they got going on now is perfect. And you can argue that Pollard gets some more touches here and there. That's fine. But I don't think it should be 80% Pollard and 20% Zeke. I mean, that it just, to me, just doesn't seem realistic. Yeah, Pollard is faster and he's greater on, swing passes, and, he's a better receiver, and he's more explosive and whatnot. But I think Zeke has a defined role, and I don't think it's that bad. I think they just need to keep doing it, what they're doing.
To add to your point, I mean, the Dallas Cowboys, they want to be a win now team. I think that they're going to keep both those guys until the duration of Pollard's contract, at least, and just see if they can platoon them out well enough to win more games.
Yeah. Do we have any? I think is that it for the buy lows?
We have a couple that you want to bring up topics. Now we question this segment as sell low ?
Well, yeah, it's just a lot of people have been asking about it.
I figured you want to bring it up.
I don't feel comfortable talking about this. It's the hard questions, but I figure, let's try to tackle it. So a lot of people, and by the way, guys, we will be doing Q&A. We'll answer your fantasy questions in a couple minutes. So we'll get this. So go ahead and ask your fantasy questions and we'll pick some good ones for the podcast. We'll answer them right now. So a lot of people asking about Brandon Ayuk. Should I drop him? Most cases I say no, don't drop him. But with Khalil Herbert on waivers, Zach Moss possibly on waivers, Chuba Hubbard on waivers. If you got a running back like that caliber, maybe even Alexander Madison.
You saw AJ Dillon on waivers last night on Hack My Lineup.
I did.
Just pointing that out.
Remember. I didn't remember I did hack my line. I was so tired.
I watched it later. I wasn't on the live.
You're not live. Oh, hey man, that's even better because it's more boring on the replay. You're watching the replay now. Wow. That's great.
I figured I'd, hey, catch up on what I missed.
You're giving me recaps of what I've done and I don't remember anything I do.
I figure that's what a producer is supposed to do.
Yeah, you know what? Because I answer like 2,000 questions a week, so I don't remember, a lot. That's just how it is.
You forget more than you remember. That's okay.
Ayuk, I drop for a running back with some kind of value, like AJ. There you go, AJ Dillon for sure. If there's no one to pick up, Like I'd try to keep him, but I don't know, man. At this point, would I drop them for the Cardinals? D. They do play the Jaguars next week. No, not this. They play.
Oh, sorry, next week.
You add the Cardinals D, so you stash them for week 7 when they face I believe they face the Jet. Actually, I think it's the Texans. Sorry, they face the Texans week 7. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Have them projected to score the same amount of points. But it is the Texans because I remember they're like, Tyrod Taylor could start. That's in my head. So, yep. But
you're correct.
I mean, who would you draw? I mean, what are you doing with IU? Because I don't have him really in redraft. You know me, like I'm okay with them in I was okay with them in Dynasty, but I told people, Debo's the much better value.
I have literally 0 shares of Ayuk in every league I'm in. I think
not even Dynasty, huh?
Not even Dynasty. And I think it was really a value thing. Like you say, like a lot of people were really, really high on him, and I just didn't want to pay that price in the draft or even trade him with somebody.
Here's a great question. You have the picture up, right? This is the picture, okay?
This is the one that kind of defined his career so far.
If Ayuk didn't jump over this dude, and that's an Eagles, is that an Eagles or it's an Eagles defender,
Eagles,
right? Okay, because it looks like Bronco, but I remember it's an Eagles game. If Ayuk didn't jump over this Eagles receiver, would people be drafting him so early this year?
I honestly don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I mean, he made national TV national coverage this way with this type of Odell.
I mean, you found this picture in 0.2 seconds, right? Like it came up right. Like, I mean, this is it. This is the play he's known for.
This is his Odell Beckham catch with one hand.
Oh man! All right, so is this?
Are we looking? Great Lego on the cake.
Are we looking? Are we looking at Dante Pettis here?
I mean, it could be. And I'm a Niner fan. I'm wearing the Niner hat. I hope not. And Sushane would kill me for thinking that way. But
Dante,
he really would. He really would. But no, I honestly think he's got a lot of talent left. It's just he's like in the doghouse, like Rick is saying in this comment. And when you're in the coach's doghouse and their coach is trying to win games, and let's be honest, Shanahan could be on the hot seat if this is another bad season. So he's got to think in advance, like, am I going to trust Ayuk to make these plays, or he's throwing out Sanu and Jawan Jennings, and who was the other guy that was making catches for us last game that I forgot even was still in the NFL, but Travis Benjamin. I'm like, what? Like, so yeah, I don't know. It's just a tough
Ross Dwelly and Juice, Kyle Juszczyk.
I mean, it's getting sad. So I think he's just like, I got to trust a veteran. Ayuk's not running the right routes, or he's not paying attention in practice. I don't know. I'm just speculating here. His head's not in the game or something, something like.
I think all your speculation,
as little as those things,
I think all your speculation means nothing, but
it does mean nothing. I'm just worried about.
But the other part was facts. Like they're using those guys and not Ayuk. That's a fact. Another fact. It's a bye week. I'm very curious to see what they're gonna do. Just like you, I don't have many shares of Ayuk, and we saw in the last podcast. I mean, like, embarrassed to admit this. I traded Ayuk away for Debo in a dynasty league,
but you got Debo.
I'm on the right side of that. I'm on the good side.
You totally didn't want to talk about it last week. Like, I just don't want to talk about it. You guys can talk about it.
It's pretty obvious. Like, I don't like to boast that much. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like to boast. All the haters will point out the big flaws in the big bust that things that I've said, and so do I. I'm with them.
Do too. You address.
I'm with them. I mean, Austin Eckler, baby. It's every time I bring up Austin Eckler, I remember another like killer pick from that sleeper and bust video. Like Debo was one. Debo was on the video. I said that he's a better value pick. Miles Sanders a bust. That's looking great. DJ Chark a bust. Maybe it's a little bit luck. It's unfortunate injury, but he's a huge bust. I mean, he didn't even, not every game he was healthy, he balled out either. Like, he wasn't the most amazing player healthy.
No, he wasn't. He's been
AJ Dillon sleeper. I mean, that's at that range, round 8. You can't find any running backs. By the way, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, like they were saying earlier, Fournette went in the 8th, guys. Fournette went in the 8th round in one of this guy's drafts earlier in the season. So, would you want to move on? Chris made a comment here, though. So Chris says, I still like Ayuk long-term, and to be fair, Debo fit your win-now team way better, and Ayuk fit my tanking win-later team more. I actually didn't read this comment before I put it up, but I know you don't want to talk about this anymore.
No, he's defending his pick. I mean, nobody.
That's okay. We'll let
nobody really cares, to be quite frank. Other than
that's okay. We got one more of this.
Other than Chris, probably no one really cares. But yes, that's right. I did trade away Ayuk and got Debo. That's a fact. That's a boast. That's a flex.
The long-term play might be better though for Ayuk. We'll see.
Or not.
Or
not.
Here we go. Allen Robinson.
The toughest one.
You've been getting asked a lot about Allen Robinson.
Allen Robinson. Okay, so with Ayuk, you can't really trade him away, except if you're Chris. Except if you're me and Chris. Yeah, me. I don't know if anyone has my type of magical powers. But of course, I mean, if you could trade away Ayuk and get Debo in a dynasty league like I did, that's amazing. You can't trade away Ayuk though in the realm of reality. I'm living in a whimsical wisdom land though. I'm living in a weird world here, man. You know what's fun? I tell all these guys a lot. Like I took so many L's in my life and so many unlucky moments that like law of average, right? The numbers. I'm getting a lot of really lucky and really good win, like things that just fallen in my lap the past 5 years. Like it's, and I changed my mindset. And I think this trade is definitely one of them. I traded away Ayuk, got Debo. But for the rest of you guys, you normal guys in reality that don't live in this whimsical land that I live in, I don't think you can trade away Ayuk for anything. I mean, I don't think you can get a fun pack Doritos. Definitely not Cool Ranch. Definitely not spicy nacho.
Which flavor would you get though? That'd be kind of.
I think you can trade Ayuk away for like an old bottle of Mountain Dew that's been sipped out. Like there's a little bit left. There's like it's mostly spit. It's mostly backwash. That's about. Rick is I think Rick is implying there's some kind of collusion going. I'll tell you what, my friend. That's a collusion. That's a cheap dynasty league, and that's definitely not worth my career or my integrity. Plus, it's not in my DNA. Like I'm gonna go down. Right? I'm just gonna go down. Like I'm not gonna it's not in my DNA. I love to I love to compete, and I don't care what it takes. I'm gonna compete. That's my DNA to a fault. Like I'm just gonna compete. I'm not gonna collude. I know Rick was trying to make a funny joke, but
no, he made one last week that was hilarious.
It was a funny joke. But I mean, I'm gonna still answer. Like that's what I do. I answer seriously. Anyway, guys, I don't think you can trade. I don't think you can trade Ayuk away, but Allen Robinson. Serious question, Drew. Like really serious. This is a really tough question. That's why I think I've been beating around the bush. Let's get to it. Would you actually sell low on Allen Robinson, or do you bench him, or do you start? Right now, he does have an injury, by the way, on top of all this.
Yeah, I mean,
great matchup against the Packers. I don't know if you knew they're playing the Packers this week.
I did know that because I got Fields in the super flex, and I'm gonna bench Fields. Hopefully, Daniel Jones is healthy for that game. In any case, I would probably bench Allen Robinson and just hope and pray that he can score a touchdown in a game coming up and get 80 yards, 100 yards, and just look like former. And then
you gotta have a dumb guy though, right? I mean,
Mike's talking about trading for Diggs to Cordell Patterson to get Diggs. I mean, we're talking about the same type of people here, right?
No, I'm saying if Allen Robinson has one, I mean, the stats you put up isn't even amazing. You're talking about 17 fantasy points.
If you can show some connection with Fields though, like just these guys actually.
If Allen Robinson
practice field, it looks like
if Allen Robinson has a good game against the Packers, okay, there might be some idiots be like, wow, who's this guy? Like, what do you want from? I'll give you anything. But in reality, you
might get fair market at
90% of the people's not going to fall for it because this has been probably the biggest wide receiver bust. Him and AJ Brown, right around there. They've been huge wide receiver. I mean, this guy hasn't even had one startable game. Look at Sleeper. What does he rank on standard and PPR? Allen Robinson right now. I think he's like 50 or 70 or something.
Oh man,
he's past 50. Yeah, he's not top 50 wide receiver right now.
So
it's that bad.
PPR, 61. Oof. And then for standard, oh my gosh, this is bad for Allen Robinson. I didn't realize it was this bad.
Yeah, dude. So
68. Eesh.
Yeah,
so 61 PPR, 68 non-PPR standard.
So I think you can
That's
sell.
selling dirt cheap. I mean, you're not getting much unless you like you say.
Well, he has a name. That's the thing. He has a bigger name than Ayuk. You know, Ayuk had the hype amongst more dynasty people. You know.
Yeah, you got a point. Allen Robinson's been higher in redraft.
He was drafted a round and a half after Allen Robinson. Ayuk was. So it's just two different guys, you know. And so Allen Robinson has a name. You can trade him. Unfortunately, not going to get much. I don't know what you can get for him.
Who do you think you can get for him? Like, who would you take if you're going to sell him right now? Who would you take in exchange and be like, okay, I'll wipe my hands clean of Allen Robinson and I'll be happy to just move on from here.
Maybe
and it could be another wide receiver.
Unfortunately, all the cuffs we've drafted and they're all playing now. Alex Collins is playing. Damian Williams. It's not even Damian Williams. Khalil Herbert. Devontae Booker, Darrell Williams, Chuba Hubbard, Madison. All these guys. And Pollard is. Zeke didn't get hurt, but Pollard's been relevant. So it's like all these cuffs actually have been relevant already. So their value's already skyrocketed. Here's one. Here's one. What do you think about this?
Go ahead.
I got Corey Davis for Allen Robinson.
That's not bad. I kind of dig it.
I like that
in that realm.
Zach Wilson can't get much worse than he's been.
I was thinking too. What if you tried to swap him for LaVisca, or even maybe a Tyler Boyd, Jacoby Myers?
What about Marvin Jones, who's been also sucking the last couple games ever since Chark went down? Marvin Jones sucked. That's so obvious.
These are actually, I think, pretty decent ideas though for people. If you guys have Allen Robinson and you want to make a switch, I think Ruggs is actually pretty decent to look at too. Some people would argue against that, but yeah, I think we kind of hit it on the head. There's a few guys that maybe you should target for say Allen Robinson owners.
What about Julio Jones?
I would probably swap that.
Wow,
yeah. I probably would.
Huh?
That's a really good one.
That's
actually.
A cool one. Because
he's been injured and he's still.
He could just. That's the thing. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Julio Jones remained a bust. I wouldn't be surprised if Julio Jones started balling out as well, putting up 12 fantasy points, 14 fantasy points.
And Julio Jones is just right there in the same area for the rankings.
Dude, we've seen the Bears throw the ball. Like, it just looks. I don't know what I'm watching. I don't know.
The worst part is they can't protect Fields. It seems. I mean,
that's
a couple more seconds to pay attention. To make his reads, and he's a rookie. He needs those extra few. Seconds.
Oh, I like this. Strict. Okay, we can do Q&A. So I mean, did we kind of hit the Allen Robinson?
Yeah,
so we would sell. We would sell.
I think we would look into it. And the idea is that maybe we'll hold for a week to see if he pops off. But the idea is that if you can get what some of the guys we mentioned, and we can go back and talk about him again. That
was the plan last week. Last week, I was like, wait for Allen Robinson to ball out against the Raiders. And
so it's kind of a recap. I think Julio Jones would be good on that list.
Corey Davis is okay.
Corey Davis would be great. Yeah. Chenault, I think, is still a good one on that list. Maybe even ask for Waddle. Maybe that's an option. I don't know. Ruggs is a good one, I think.
God, the quarterback in Miami. Oh, God. I don't know, man.
Let's move on, though.
I would rather keep Allen Robinson than get Waddle or Ruggs. I mean, it might not be. That might be a dumb decision. Oh yeah. So this guy Strickland says my girlfriend is in a league with all her girlfriends and she's asleep, and I told her to start Leonard Fournette this week. I think Leonard Fournette got 27 fantasy points.
I know he scored 2 touchdowns and he had, I think, 88 yards rushing.
30. So he's got 30.7 in my standard PPR league.
He also had 6 catches for 46 yards. So 22 carries, 81 yards, 6 carries for 46. He had 2 touchdowns on the ground running.
Wow.
Yeah, for a guy that was drafted in like the 8th round, right?
Yeah, 30.7. Ooh, Allen Robinson for Devontae Smith.
That's not bad. I would probably do that, even though Devontae Smith is having trouble, with Jalen Hurts.
I'm blaming it on Hurts.
I
blame it all on Hurts. Don't blame me. Nobody blame me. It's not my fault. Right? We can shift the blame from me to Jalen Hurts, right? No blame on me. I'm perfect. Other than Austin Eckler, I'm perfect. I mean, I think so. Any other questions?
I think there's a few of them.
Strickland says, "Let's go." She's gonna think I actually know what I'm talking about with that. Hey, buddy, follow the couch, man. We never steer you wrong, except for Austin Eckler. Other than that, man, I think we've been perfect.
Here's one from Jason. I'll go back to that one from Rick. I think you might want to answer.
Go ahead and read that. Yeah.
So Jason says, trade Visca for Miles Sanders. His wide receivers are Terry McLaurin, Chase Claypool, Brandon Cooks, Brandon Ayuk. RBs, running backs are Zeke, Tony Pollard, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Melvin Gordon.
Okay, I'm bringing up the Eagles schedule.
Yeah, and Miles Sanders, he didn't get the ball very much this evening, but when he did, he looked decent, actually, although they were probably at that point playing against a prevent type defense.
I'd say yes. We're going up against the Raiders week 7, Lions week 8, Chargers week 9, who's good team, but not the best, probably against the run. It's getting a little bit tougher. Broncos, Saints, Giants, and then baby, we're back with the Jets week 13, Washington week 15, and Washington week 17. So I would do it like I always say, deepest position, wide receiver, right? Scarce position, running back. Go get that scarce position. And I mean, what are you gonna really lose, right? You want to really depend on Laviska to win you teams. Go get a running back. We know how easy it is and how often running backs get hurt. Go get you a scarce position. People do this, bro. Instant regret. They go, oh, let me trade a running back and a wide receiver and get 2 wide receivers. Okay, so now you got 80,000 wide receivers on your team. One running back injury happens to your team. There's no way back machine. You can't go time traveling back. You're going to really wish you didn't trade away your running back. And yeah, this guy's getting Laviska, who's like, oh, that's so cool. I get this cool guy on the Jags. But then you're getting a running back who might be able to do some things. At least spot start, right? Again, week 7, you can start him. Raiders. Week 8, you can start him. I mean, please start him week 8 against the Lions. After that, who knows? We only go week by week in fantasy, man. That's what's so cool. That's why when you talk about fantasy in this country, that's why fantasy football is always king. Because you played all those other sports. They're a little, like, but who's this week? Is it going to rain? Is this guy going to rest? Every week. Tomorrow. It's a daily grind. 4 games in a week, 7 games in a week.
3-game series.
This is football where I can sell out my team, go all out just to buy myself 1 win. Right? Just to get 1 win. 1 win is pretty important, right? 1 win. 1 night of, regular season baseball, 1 night of regular season NBA is not that big a deal, especially in fantasy. Like it's kind of like nothing. It's almost like why even pay attention to that one day? But in football, you're paying attention Sunday because that 1 week, it's how many times you made or missed playoffs because of a tiebreaker? I mean, literally every year I play, literally every year.
Every single year, at least one of those leagues is like that.
I'm Mr. 7-9 with my whack. When I draft a whack team, it's usually going 7-9. And that's, that comes down to a tiebreaker, which I always lose. But hey, it is what it is. Tiebreakers, man. And so I don't even know why I'm talking about this. All right.
No, it's okay. I got a question.
We're talking about Miles Sanders. Yeah, Miles Sanders. Go get it.
It's a tight end for tight end question. So he says, Rick, I was just offered Waller for Pitts. Thoughts, fellas? So Waller didn't practice today. I think you got to smash
if he's hurt though. Yeah, I don't think he's hurt.
You got to smash if you were offered Waller for Pitts.
Yeah. So this is based off the John Gruden thing, okay, and the Kyle Pitts performance. Now, I mean, if I had to guess, educated guess, I'm a professional. First of all, I'm a professional. Like I'm a professional fantasy analyst. Let's throw that out there. Let's make that clear. But when it comes down to it, it's more of a guess than anything. I think Waller's stock goes up after Gruden.
It's due to rest, by the way. Due to rest. Did not practice due to rest. I can read further into it, but it's a knee thing.
Okay, so it's not. Okay, it doesn't seem major at all.
I'll read more of it, but it doesn't seem very major.
No, we don't need more. So I think Waller's value goes up, if anything. I mean, it could go down, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. I just need this man to get some targets, and I think he's going to get targets. Go get Waller. I mean, this is great. This is great. Like, you're selling high on Pitts, you're buying low on, Gruden's X, whatever, recycle bin, whatever the heck you want to call it. Buying low on Gruden's X team, right?
Yeah, that's a
X
smash.
Player. Go take that. Like, you can't. This is like, to me, you're getting profits, right? You can't lose taking a profit. I think this one, boom, you get a profit. Go. You're getting Waller. Go. Let's do it.
I think this is just a good question from Lee. It says, should I start Javonte, Zach Moss, or Chase Edmonds this week? 10-man PPR. I think it's a good question because we mentioned Javonte earlier. How do your algorithms look? How does your gut feel on that one?
Man, this question is so easy for me. I'm just going to double check really quick. I mean, I'm going Javonte Williams all the way here. Like, it's not even close. And I mean, the algorithms agree too. And, I got that gut feeling, Javonte Williams breakout game. I also got that gut, it's not just me going on a limb, but, Taylor Heineke should put up 30 fantasy points against the Chiefs. Javonte Williams breakout game. These things are bound to happen. Allen Robinson, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't trust you. No more Allen Robinson predictions.
No.
That guy's pissing me off. So start Javonte Williams.
Okay, I got another one here. Where was it? It's a little longer. You want to read this one?
No, you read the long. I don't read.
So this is from Cassish. He says, "Is trade away
Kashif?
See, that's why I wanted
Kashif.
Kashif. Is trading away Swift and Jonathan Taylor for Christian McCaffrey a smart move for him? PPR. His running backs besides them are Zeke and Najee. His only worry is that Christian McCaffrey will re-injure that hammy and he'll lose his depth."
For me, I like the Swift and JT side more because, again, let me make it clear from last podcast. 9 times out of 10, I take the quality over quantity. But when the quantity is pretty good, right? So let's just say, just to simplify things, we're talking about the number 1 overall fantasy pick with like a two number 15s. Let's just to simplify, you know what I mean? Or even 2 number 18s, the 18th overall pick, whatever. It doesn't really matter. So 18, like, yeah, that's a big number, but that's still it's still a second rounder type of player. Like, that's still really good quality. Could you start that? Yeah. I mean, do you ideally want to start that? Heck yeah. And it is also PPR. There's worries with everybody. And I think with Christian McCaffrey, he's about 2 farts and half a hair away from being labeled injury prone. I mean, this guy's really, Chris Carson crossed that line, right?
With
last
the neck
week.
Injury.
Yeah, he crossed the line. He went from, hey guys, he's not that injury prone to he is injury prone. Now we got Christian McCaffrey. One more injury and he gets the label, right? Not yet, but just one more.
Close.
I mean, he's breaking down. Like, he's been breaking down. They used him a lot in the past. I mean, really, recent past, not like 10 years ago, but they've used him a lot. He's the focal point of the offense. Now he's been breaking down. The man has played 4 games the past year, this year and last year.
You want to look it up, Christian McCaffrey? I think you're about right.
It does. I mean, it's not really a big deal. Everyone knows he's been hurt last year. So he's played 4 games, 5 games, whatever, 4.5, 5, whatever. Doesn't matter. Everyone know. I mean, Christian McCaffrey. Everyone knows what's up. So I like the JT and Swift side. So
what would you say to this one then? This is very similar. It says, Kevin says, should I trade Kareem and Nick Chubb for Christian McCaffrey? I think your answer is still going to be no. But his running backs are currently Zeke, Cordero Patterson, and Melvin Gordon. So very similar question.
Well, I don't know what side you're on, but I prefer the Chubb and Hunt side probably.
I figured you'd go that way, so I just wanted to solidify that.
Yeah, because I mean, it's tough because you got Zeke, Patterson, Melvin Gordon is the one that you're benching. And I mean, that's a tough one, but I feel like this is not the best trade for you. And if one of these Browns running backs go down, then you'd be like, wow, I want to go in the time machine.
Yeah, the time machine.
I want to go back in time. So no, this one is closer. I think there's a really good argument for getting Christian McCaffrey. I really do. But I think you're really hedging right here when you stick with Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I mean, remember
That's
Kevin, this is your fault that you have 2 Browns running backs. I didn't force this on you. All right, I didn't do this. Is your fault. You put yourself in this predicament.
It's not a bad situation this year.
It's not that bad, but I'm saying like he didn't magically end up here. Like he did this.
We just got our first thumbs up. Maybe that was Kevin.
Oh, he just did this to his own team. So it's like, to dig, if you want to get out of this, it's not a bad predicament either. Yeah, like you said, and like I said, Kareem Hunt, I think has a minor injury right now. I'm not sure, but like any one of these guys get hurt, like you're gonna love starting Chubb or love starting Hunt if either one of them gets hurt.
Here's another question that came in a little bit later. I'm not going to read the guy's name anymore because I got in trouble last time.
Yeah.
But, hey, Couch, should I trade James Robinson and Amari Cooper for Devontae Adams and Miles Gaskin? I have JT, Zeke, and Derrick Henry, so I'll be good at running back.
Should I trade J-Rob and Amari Cooper?
I think this is a smash.
And Gaskin. Yeah, Adams is kind of seeming like the one of one, like like the tier 1, and that like he's seeming like he's separating himself
MVP
from the other wide receivers. Dark horse MVP candidate, but that says a lot.
Yeah.
And I would do it. I love James Robinson, but you're still selling high on him. And Amari Cooper, you sliding him in, just under the table. Like, hey, how about you take a little Amari? Shut up, all right? And you get in Devontae Adams and Miles Gaskin, who might be good. I think he will be.
10 catches last game. That was insane. Okay, this is just a comment to confirm what I mentioned earlier about Lamar's projection so far. He is over 5,000 yards projected passing and over 1,000 yards rushing. So 51.64 and 11.59 on the ground.
Nobody knows what you just said. All right. So Chris Couch Newsman Chris is saying that Lamar is on pace for 5,164 passing yards and 1,159 rushing yards and 61 total touchdowns. I mean, that sounds like some BS Madden numbers, and I think he's mad at his rating being like not being 99. Pissed. I mean, I don't necessarily like him complaining, but like I do agree. Like, I mean, you'd want like it's Lamar Jackson. Like, what? Like, come on! Like, that's the ideal Madden player. I mean, it brings back when you challenged me the first time to Madden, and I ran with Vic. Oh. I mean, this is the next Vic on Madden.
And he's so much better passer than Vic. So much better passer.
He's just better. Like, he's just a better player. Better. Yeah, and he's young. I think he could still improve. But just to go back to Kevin's question, and then we'll end it here about the Chubb and Hunt. I think you can make a trade. That trade is good, but not good enough for me. I'm stingy with the trades. I think trading Kareem Hunt and Chubb for CMC is a good trade. But it just doesn't sit right with me. I think I would get greedy and want just a little bit more. I don't think it's the right trade. You could trade Hunt alone. You could trade Chubb alone, I think. I think that would be cool. Or just try to find another type of trade. I think you got the right idea. I just wouldn't do it. But we're going to end it there. Guys, thank you guys so much for watching. We did if you guys are into NFTs, basketball or NBA Top Shot, I did just upload a video this morning on this channel here, Fantasy Couch Podcast. It's my 3rd YouTube video today, so make sure you guys do go and check that out. What do you think about the video, Drew? Without telling them,
I was feeling some kind of way. I was into it. I mean, we're friends, so I was feeling very just excited.
No, but random people come up to me and we're like, I'm proud of you, dog. Just people I never even heard of.
That out loud. I wanted to say
I
didn't want to give anything away.
I gave it away a little bit, but hey.
I was really happy and proud to see what I saw in that video. It was
there's bonuses. Gold. If you guys leave a comment, I will answer your question, but this is a podcast, so we're gonna end it there.
You guys take care.
Actually, just All right, we'll just cut it there. We'll just answer these. All right, we'll cut the audio podcast there. All right, let me answer some questions. There's only a few.
Do you want to just end it?
I don't. No, don't end. No, don't end it. I'll just cut the audio podcast there. Should I keep Michael Thomas? I have Cooper Kupp, Hill, and Pittman at flex. What is this quite like?
I didn't want to bring it up because you.
Because you
yell at me when I bring up bad questions.
No, we're done with the show essentially. So we're just answering these guys' questions. I mean, you need to give me someone to add, right? So I probably wouldn't drop Michael. I mean, I'll try not to.
There was a few other ones too. Go ahead though.
Bye week issues. Have to plug in Bateman. No, you don't. Bateman's going to be eased in. That's not no. I drop either Gaskin, Mitchell, Javonte. That's a whole these RVs to see pan out. Could also go with it without a kicker. Thoughts? I'm 4-1. This is a bigger this sounds like a league where you guys only have like 4 bench spots or whatever. That's just stupid. Imagine an NFL team. NFL teams 53 players, or you could say 46. Imagine they're just rolling with like 20. Like that's or like 25. Like that's not right. Like this is like get you a league with 7 bench spots. I mean, this guy's literally asking me, should I drop Javonte Williams? Like what?
Yeah, that's insane. Guys.
We're
talking about buying low on him.
Well, get in a league with some IR spots, with some bench spots,
COVID spots.
I mean, don't roll without a kicker because my kickers have been pretty dang good this year and last year.
Kickers. Some people will like not.
Yeah,
drop
don't keep
kicker.
2 kickers.
Like they think that Young Ho Q is going to be like good.
Yeah,
like,
going to
pick him up. Just drop him.
Pick
up someone else.
He was great. I told you guys last week to start him, but yeah,
But still, just go ahead.
Yeah, drop. Yeah. Don't have 2 kickers. Don't have 2 defenses. Like,
just
do
drop
what you got to do. I mean, Eli Mitchell's my guy. Like, I don't want to drop him. He's a running back. He's the starting running back, workhorse running back on the Niners. Like, literally, like this is not me pushing an agenda. Like, he's literally the workhorse running back on the Niners. Trey Sermon, 1 touch. This is just facts. Eli Mitchell's first game back. Trey Sermon, 1 touch. That's a fact. Jimmy G, I don't know what kind of BS the Niners are talking about, but Jimmy G is supposed to start again. I don't know what kind of charades we're playing. Maybe Jimmy G is going to start. If he does, that's more carries for Eli Mitchell. I don't want, and I mean, come on, you can't drop Gaskin. What I suggest, Beta, since, realistically you can't change the league, definitely get more bench spots. Vote for that. What I suggest is you make a trade. Trade away Gaskin, or trade away somebody. I think you can make a trade, dude. Because running backs are scarce. People are always in need of a running back. And to me, right here, Gaskin is the play to trade because nobody wants Eli Mitchell right now. And Javonte didn't have his breakout game yet, so I don't think you get much for. I think you can get a little something. Yeah, but that's my prediction.
Matt's a good listener. I wanted to go back to his. I traded Keenan Allen and Chris Carson for T. Higgins. Oh, shoot. We did this one already, didn't we?
What are you tripping?
Sorry. I'm going back in the time machine that we were talking about. Okay, yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Let's check in. Here's B-Dubs. He says, I have Debo and Patterson on bye, CEH on IR, no IR spot. So he wanted to basically bring up what you were talking about.
Yeah. Make a trade. He's good. I need to drop either LaVishka or Hunter Renfrow to fill my kicker spot this week. Any suggestion? Honestly, it doesn't matter. Hunter Renfrow's great, but he just doesn't have a lot of upside. LaVishka, it really doesn't matter. Which one should he drop, Drew?
I feel like I'm a little higher on LaVishka. And because of the Gruden stuff, who knows what that offense will look like exactly. I mean, it could take a hit a little bit. And like you're saying, Waller could get more targets and just be more of a target hog. Bryan Edwards hasn't really produced either recently. So if he starts getting back on track, I think he'll definitely be competing against him for targets.
Should we look up Pro Football Focus? Let me see if I can find it.
Look at this question. So
Kevin says season. Yeah. What is it? Go ahead.
Kevin says, should I trade Lamar Jackson and Emmanuel Sanders for Dak and Tyreek while having Tom Brady as my QB1? I mean, that's a pretty wild trade, but I'd say you got to say yes to get Tyreek.
This is a one QB league
and Tom Brady as your quarterbacks.
Is this a one QB league? I guess it doesn't really matter because it's a QB for a QB. But I mean, I guess it's
for Emmanuel, so that's pretty
Tyreek Hill. Now look, you want to when you type in player, you just type in Tyreek Hill on Google, and then Roto World, I think, has an injury that came up all of a sudden.
Who are we talking about? Tyreek
Hill, yeah.
Oh no,
Fantasy Docs. I posted on my stories, my IG stories. Fantasy Docs said that he's actually in danger of maybe missing this week. Yeah, Fantasy Docs on Instagram. So
quad injury in week 5. Yeah, you're right. So this could.
I mean, this is why I think we're seeing him in this trade. You know what I mean? Like, where did this Tyreek Hill come from? I think it came from this injury. Tyreek. I'm looking up. I just want to see Renfro versus Laviska. Pro Football Focus has Laviska as a 36 wide receiver rest of the season, and Hunter Renfro 37. So that's funny.
Wow, that's close.
Yeah. So just go with Pro Football Focus. Don't go with Drew. Go with Pro Football Focus. Which just so happens to be the same answer, but hey, you know, I was gonna say the same because it's like because it doesn't matter. Let's see what the unknown has to offer, which is Laviska. Hunter Renfro's like old because his hairline's not, you know, it's not like he looks old. He looks like experienced too.
I think that's all the questions we had in here, though. I mean, I might be wrong. There might be a few I'm missing.
Not that many people's tuning in. Sushane I think he thinks you're a Giants fan.
Yeah, sorry, Sushane. I'm actually a Dodgers fan.
He's a Dodgers fan, and I don't watch baseball. I mean,
yeah, I grew up. I had a best friend when I was a kid. He was a huge Dodgers fan, and I was just kind of tagging along. So he kind of got me into the Dodgers. But I stuck with the Bay Area when it comes to football and basketball. So Warriors, Niners, but Dodgers.
San Jose Sharks.
I was watching too, not watching. I was just checking the score. It looks like it was a pretty good game, but we won in extra innings, it looks like.
What? We got money?
And this is after hours.
Oh my god.
Look at this. I have to go back real quick.
I don't understand. Is this means that it's a red flag or is that a good? It sounds like a bad thing.
Hold on. Oh, it looks like he's flying the flag. Like maybe I don't know. I
think he's saying like it's a red flag that you're a Dodgers
He'll clarify. Hey, maybe
I've seen this red flag today on social media a lot. It's just really weird. I don't know why. I don't know. Oh, Hurts like almost hit the cameraman.
Well, see, there are other Dodger fans who are Niner fans because I believe at one point when the Raiders had moved out of Los Angeles back to Oakland, that some of those fans kind of were upset and they decided to root for the Niners or just grew up Niner fans until, obviously things are different now with the Chargers and the Rams down there.
Yeah, but can you explain this to me, Chris? So it's a bad thing, right? It's like you're saying that like Drew is like, oh, some red flags, like watch out, like it's suspicious, right? Like it's like it's a red flag, like it's like alert, like what watch out, this is suspicious behavior.
Hey, maybe he has something against Dodger fans. Aren't always like the greatest fans, let's be honest too.
Yeah,
I mean, let's be honest here. I'm not part of that.
I don't watch baseball and I know that. Yeah,
and I'm more into football. Like pretty much it's my everyday thing now as opposed to baseball. It used to be, but
all right, back to badminton. Adolfo, embarrassment of riches in full PPR, but still 2-4. I know how it feels. This is my first year where I have some really good teams that and I'm the number 1 top scoring team points for, number 2, number 3, number 4, and my record's really not reflecting it in some of them. But it is what it is. Still keep last week I played against Woods. This week I'm playing against Fournette. Like I don't know what the heck's going on. Henderson.
Next week he'll be playing. No, I'm just joking.
Henderson or Jamar Chase at flex. Got Diggs and Jefferson wide receiver, Antonio Gibson and Mixon and RB. I think you're gonna have to go with Chase because the matchup is that amazing. I'm talking Chase's personal matchup with any cornerback that's facing him. is going to look very embarrassed. He's facing the Lions. Jamar Chase and the Bengals are going against the Lions, by the way. And Henderson, you know how I feel about Rams running backs.
Snake McVay effect.
Yeah, I can't do it. Also, the algorithms have Jamar Chase going off, so it's also it's full PPR. That's why to me it's a no-brainer. Start the wide receiver over the running back.
I think this might be a Sony Michel game too. So let's say the Rams get up big.
I mean, it could be like it could.
But they could get up big, and then they could use Sony Michel over Henderson more or less, just to kind of.
I mean, it's a realistic scenario.
Run out the clock.
Yeah, I mean, it's very
using
realistic.
Their second stringer,
or they just use Sony Michel in the second half, regardless,
because he gets better. Yeah,
just,
better.
I mean, they just do. Like, I mean, that's also a very realistic scenario. What else? People are venting. What's going on here?
Yeah, Mar says
this guy asked the same question, huh? It's like not the.
But you answered this question.
I said you have to tell me who you're gonna pick up. What am I gonna do?
Oh, that's what you said. Okay.
Just tell you to drop Mike Thomas, pick up a random kicker. That's what random. Just make it random. Like he doesn't even have to.
Billy Cundiff.
I saw Sebastian Janikowski on the I mean, I'm deep into fantasy football. Sebastian Janikowski is on almost every platform. Just random kicker. Go for it.
So your question? Oh, this is a more just
real question. Oh, it's a real guy here.
What do you say? I'm left, bro. I'm sorry.
He left and came back. He's not.
Oh.
He's not part of the couch family. He just only drops in to eat the turkey at Thanksgiving. He's not couch fam. He's not real couch family. He just comes in. He's says hi, leaves. We got go read the real question for me.
No, there wasn't a question. It was just Amar saying, "I'm so frustrated with the Eagles' offense in fantasy. When is this going to change?"
I guess don't think it is this year.
Yeah, I don't know. That's tough. I think Miles Sanders is actually a good running back, and I know I played Amar this week in Empire, and Miles Sanders didn't do much, but he has talent and he can breakaway speed.
Yeah,
I mean, he showed that as a rookie. He had those first couple games where he was explosive.
He's not getting. I mean, I had him as a fantasy bust, and I've been dead on with it. And he's just not getting the touches. And it is what it is. I have Devontae Smith in every league, and it's frustrating. So I'm with you. Yeah, I'm
so what he's saying is, but like that's what I'm asking. Should I keep him or should I trade him for someone? This is going back to
I thought you meant
Michael Thomas.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're gonna get much for him. If he's
and he does love it here, by the way. So
if he's on IR, I try to keep him. It really depends on the deal, right? Like I feel like you're not gonna get anything for him except
I want to trade for him.
Real freak Saints fan. He might not play this year. I'm just
I get that, but I mean, the talent's there. I think Jameis Winston's going to throw it to him a lot.
Yeah, he's not going to get anything for this guy. Like 99% of fantasy owners won't give you jack for Mike Thomas. I mean, it's pretty bad. Like this trade value is so low.
You want to hear what I'm offering Ben in the Empire League for Michael Thomas? I'll tell you. I'm offering
that's
him.
Dynasty, just to make it clear. Yeah.
Still, it's an offer. So Geno Smith, because he actually has Russell Wilson and
super
I picked him up halfway.
Yeah,
so this is super flex, by the way. And Darnell Mooney, because he's a Bears fan. Hopefully he'll accept. I don't think he will actually. But I want to get
you have
Michael
to give
Thomas.
him a pick too.
I want Michael Thomas, man. I think that it's going to be the last half of the season. I think he's going to go off. I think so.
You got to give him a pick though. I think you might have to.
I mean, you might be right. You might be right.
You might have to throw in a second and get back a third or something.
Do you want to talk about the trade we did in the couch party? So I traded. So Hussein goes in the chat, right? And he goes, "Hey, I need a good quarterback. My wide receivers are available." So I send him Burrow. I have Dak as my quarterback one. So I send Hussein Burrow for Michael Carter. Now I actually needed to fill the position of running back this week because I had guys on bye, but I wanted Carter anyways just because I felt like he's a good player rest of the season. So I felt like I was just going to punt RB2 this week. And then I went to Scote, who's another member of the league, and actually offered a couple different trades, but he ended up settling on Chase Edmonds for Michael Carter. So I literally turned Joe Burrow into Chase Edmonds, who I needed to actually cover the bye week for this week as it was because Kamara's out. That was pretty. You were pissed.
No, I'm just being a hater. I wasn't pissed.
That was funny. You're like, beat out this trade because it was funny.
I was just joking.
It was great though. It was good.
You know, it's cool that I got respect in that league, but I don't. I know my team is just it's absolute garbage. What am I going to do?
Wouldn't you rather done the Carter for Edmonds trade yourself in that case? I mean, wouldn't a running back be a little bit better, or did you really want Burrow?
I need to win now. No, I don't care about Edmonds or their bench players for me. I don't care about them. I need to win now.
So the Burrow move is for you.
I need Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's ranked like QB 15 in our league, and I'm looking at his schedule. I'm looking at Joe Burrow, and I feel like it doesn't quite reflect, what he is. I think he's more of a QB 10 to 12. So I'm not saying, he's absolutely amazing, but for the crap I got, I mean, that's a huge upgrade. And so I'm starting Joe Burrow this week. It's a 6-point passing touchdown league. And I mean, I need something. I got Ryan Tannehill. So, I needed to make a move. I need to win. Like, I got to win. I got to start winning a lot of games. I'm 1-4, and I'm facing Fournette in that league as well. So, I mean, it's
damn.
Yeah, I mean, I know my team, man. It's one of I'm the third worst team in that league. That is what it is. I'm not saying this the rankings. Like, my team is actually that bad. And I'm just gonna keep fighting, and that's it. That's one of the leagues where my team sucks, and I needed a quarterback. And I made the move. Hopefully, Burrow throws some touchdowns.
Let's end it on this because we don't necessarily have to answer this question, Kevin, because we have a whole entire waivers video on the main channel, which talks about which running backs to pick up this week. Unless you want to give them a couple off the top of your head, Hussein.
Well, waivers are over, first of all. So, we're looking at Javonte
Very
Booker.
true.
Waivers. Javonte Booker is number 1. Darrell Williams is number 2. And, Alex Collins is okay. And Khalil Herbert comes up.
If these guys are still on the waivers.
Khalil Herbert is the new one to pick up. And I just tweeted, like, Damian Williams, he's on the COVID reserve list.
And I said, Herbert question.
And I said, Khalil Herbert right now, all the fantasy platforms, because I went to go check, all the fantasy platforms were slow as people were adding Khalil Herbert. I added him in the captain's league, and my buddy's completely taken over the team. I was like, dude, I'm gonna do this. Like, he's the only league where Herbert was available, and so I dropped Brian Edwards, and I added Herbert, and he was like, oh yeah, that was a good move. He was dealing with like a lot of work issues today, so I was like, yeah, man. So Khalil Herbert's the new hot one. But yeah, on the main channel, Fantasy Couch, the YouTube channel, guys, I'm the only one that does this. I come up with waivers for every single position, and I rank them and I talk through them as fast as I can. And let's be quite frank. A lot of people only go there for the kickers and defenses. And we've actually, I mean, we're batting like nearly 100% on them, so it's pretty outstanding, right? Well. I mean, I'm like, come on, like Nick Folk last week, like, come on, like we've just been crushing it. So like, it's been pretty amazing. It's been so amazing. Like, I've been picking up defenses a week early because, I mean, it doesn't really take a rocket scientist. Oh, they face the Jags, start them. They face the Texans, start them.
Yeah, you're paying attention though. That's the point.
Yeah, here's a question though. People don't know how to pick kickers. All right, we gotta end this. You gotta eat. Yeah, this is last.
Yeah, one. Sorry, last one. So Daniel says for flex, he's got Visca, Jalen Waddle, Odell Beckham Jr., which we don't like already, and then Khalil Herbert, who we just mentioned.
So
I think you got to go Herbert.
Definitely.
I mean, Herbert or Waddle, but I think
Herbert. So I'm not. I don't think Damian Williams is 100% out, but let's just say he's 99. Oh, he's out.
No, he's on the COVID list now.
I know, but that's not 100%. Let's say
ESPN has him out, and I think you have to test.
Well, ESPN
10 days after you test
positive. Stupid. He didn't test positive. Okay. He's on the list. He could be a close contact. So I don't know. You could be right, but I'm saying we don't know.
Right. It's not official.
Roto. Yeah. Let's just say though, 99% chance he's out. It doesn't mean that he's gonna play. I'm just saying, like, I don't think it's 100%. Like, it's impossible for him to play. If he's vaxxed, if he's close contact, 2 tests within, 24 hours apart, he might be able to
test positive.
Okay, so he's freaking. Okay, so he's freaking out. Okay, so
this is real news. Yeah,
I think that's 100% because that's at least 5 days. So okay, he did. Okay, all right.
That's a for sure positive test per sleeper.
So picking up Herbert was a great move. All right, so you're starting Khalil Herbert, bud, because there's no Montgomery, there is no Damian Williams.
There's Ryan Knoll. That's about it.
And no Tariq Cohen yet. They're facing the Packers. Like, oh my God, like they're like this is great. And Khalil Herbert, man, he was a sleeper rookie. I didn't think he was that good, but I always liked him as a sleeper rookie. And I think he looked a little bit better than I thought.
Okay, last one. Devontae Booker or Khalil Herbert now, because you got 2 backup running backs. Now you got
Khalil Herbert, since we know 100% that Damian Williams is out.
All right, guys, we'll end it there.
All right, guys, peace.